G'day, this is Scott from ScottsHobbyz. In this video I'm testing the mild steel chopper. I'm basically cutting up a bunch of wood here for the fire, just sort of up to 2 inches, maybe 2.5 at the most for some of it. It's a little bit rotten, but it's still very, very tough. I was pleasantly surprised by how well this chopped and how easy it was to resharpen, but the edge did receive a bit of damage, especially when I chopped on the really big pallet bit you can see on the top left there. For any sticks up to, say, 1 inch, it just went through like a hot knife through butter. I was very happy with that, because that's the kind of stuff that I wanted to use it for anyway. As you can see there, it was just little swings. A little trick you'll see me do is when you're sort of struggling to get through, you hit it a few times to bite into it, and then you whack it on the edge of the block and it comes off really well. Saves you having to chop through the whole thing like that. Yeah, it was pretty dull at this point, and this is probably, even if it was sharp, I'd say a bit beyond its scope of ability. It was a bit of a pain to put it right when it had the thing on there. Took a while to chop through, but it was already blunt, and I whacked on it as hard as I could to see if I got any edge damage, and I definitely did, as you'll see in a minute. This is all I chopped up before I needed to sharpen it again. As you can see, there's a couple big ripples there, and you get light reflecting all over the edge, which means it's gone dull. Those ripples would have been from when I was hitting that really thick bit as hard as I could. Took me about 1.5 minutes to sharpen it from that condition to where I was happy to use it again. Now that I sort of got the hang of it, I can do it in about 1 minute, so very quick to resharpen. And you can also use the sander to resharpen if you want, because you don't have to worry about overheating the edge or anything. There's the resharpened edge. The rippled bits were sharp, but I didn't keep going till they came out. I couldn't be bothered. Nor is it really necessary, because you're just hacking at stuff and it's not worth wasting all the steel. This wood isn't rotten. It varies from probably about 1.5 inches up to 2.5 inches, and another gum tree branch, so it's very difficult to chop, but looks a bit easier because I kind of got the hang of the technique and I got the right angle I'm chopping at there. As you can see, it's doing fairly well, and onto some splitting. Thought it would be a good idea to do this because winter is coming. High five if you get the reference. Well, winter's technically here already in Australia. Not sure what wood that is. It's splitting really easy. This piece was beyond its limits. you'd sort of have to keep chipping around the edges to split it up, but it couldn't split it in half. You just couldn't get enough force behind it, not heavy enough. This size it did fairly well. Any bigger than that and you're sort of struggling a lot for splitting. Bit of a tough grain bit there. You could definitely baton through thicker stuff. So yeah, no extra damage from that, just needed sharpening again, so doesn't last very long before sharpening, but easy to sharpen. Fairly impressed with its performance, bit of fun, nice and cheap, and the handle didn't come loose. In conclusion, I was very happy with it, but honestly, you'd probably want something in the low 50s, sort of between 50 and 55 Rockwell. It would be almost as easy to sharpen and would stay sharp for a lot longer. But if you just got some scrap steel lying around, it's a good fun project and it works well for dirty, rough tasks. So yeah, that's how well it worked. Have a good one and stay tuned for the next video.